Good evening. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory, and we have a First Alert weather day on the board. And I bet just by looking at this temperature map, you could guess where. We've been on this stretch of really unseasonably warm weather. I mean, for the end of December, your highs would on average be in the low to mid 40s. Now, we know from experience we often fall on either end of that range there, but on average, low to mid 40s would be kind of considered normal for late December. Instead, we've been running about 20 degrees warmer than that for most of this week. That trend is going to continue into the weekend. Saturday and Sunday still very warm, feeling like spring out there, but then we've got a cold front. Sunday night, that is going to drop us about 40 degrees. We go from highs in the lower 70s on Sunday to the upper 20s to around 30 on Monday. And as that cold front rolls through, we are now on alert. It's a 14 First Alert weather day Sunday night. This is for the overnight hours. And there are a few different facets to this. First of all, this cold front's definitely going to bring us rain. Probably a few thunderstorms, but within those thunderstorms, there's also this isolated risk of some damaging winds. So it's already going to be breezy Sunday and Monday on either side of this cold front, but when the cold front's actually moving through, the winds could get even stronger within those thunderstorms, and a few gusts here or there could be just enough to cause some minor isolated damage. So we are on alert for the storm Sunday night, but then kind of part two of that alert is the temperature drop. That's not something we would usually issue an alert day for all by itself, but if you're not paying attention, some folks are really going to get caught off guard when they step out the door Monday morning, because Sunday night is going to be this huge change where we go from these very mild temperatures that we've had for several days in a row, right? You're kind of getting used to it now. Then all of a sudden, it's going to feel like winter again Monday morning. Good evening, Cheyenne, Suzanne, Jeff, Caroline, thank you guys for tuning in and for commenting. Yes, Jeff mentions good old crazy southern Indiana weather. Yeah, this is some classic tri-state weather we have in the forecast here. Really wild temperature changes and, of course, a few storms in the mix as well. So let's talk a little bit more about our rain chances. Right now, it's mostly cloudy but dry across the tri-state. As we go through the rest of the night, any breaks we see in the clouds will not last. It's going to really cloud back up. Again, if we get a break at all tonight, it'll cloud back up again by tomorrow morning. Saturday is going to be a lot like most of this week has been. It's going to be mostly cloudy, but pretty mild. We may catch a stray shower here or there, but most of us are going to stay dry, and that's the case through Saturday night as well. Sunday, there's an isolated chance of rain in the morning, but again, most of the day is going to be cloudy, but mainly dry and very warm. Sunday night is when that First Alert weather day comes into play. A cold front's going to come in from the northwest, and look at these wind arrows here. I don't know how clearly you can see them, but during the day Sunday, we're going to have this warm air just flowing in from the south. I think Sunday, due to the timing of this front, which has changed some, by the way, if you haven't watched the weather in a few days, earlier this past week, we were talking about this cold front coming through like Sunday morning and temperatures dropping throughout the day Sunday. Now it looks like this cold front's probably not going to get here till Sunday night, but that means we're still going to have that warm air flowing in all day Sunday. So Sunday has gone from earlier in the week, it looked like we were going to get gradually colder throughout the day Sunday, to now it seems like Sunday could be the warmest day of this entire warm stretch that we're dealing with here. So we've got this warm air just pumping in from the south. Then this cold front comes in. This surge of dry, cold air from the northwest comes in and clashes with that warmer, more humid air from the south. And where those two collide, you get this line of showers and thunderstorms overnight Sunday night. This is going to be the middle of the night. Many of us may even sleep through it, but we are going to have a line of showers and probably a few thunderstorms in the mix as well. I will say some of the models, like this one for example, if you look right here, right on the tail end of this, as the rain is moving out, our temperatures are going to take such a quick nosedive that by early Monday morning, as the rain's moving out, we could see a very brief change over to snow. I do think it would be brief, just a few snowflakes right on the tail end. But keep in mind, before you get too excited about any kind of snow, we will have just spent nearly a week in the 60s and 70s. So the ground is going to be too warm, in my opinion, for any of this to stick. So I really doubt we'll see any snow accumulation, but you may catch a quick flake falling from the sky if you're out very early Monday morning. It would have to be early though. That's going to move out pretty fast. Most of the day Monday is going to be dry, but that's where you have that huge drop then. And Monday, even though it's going to be dry, it's also going to be about 40 degrees colder. So let's talk about our thunderstorm chances. Notice the entire tri-state highlighted in this green color here. So we're all sitting at this level 1 on a scale of 5, risk for severe storms. So an isolated strong to severe storm is possible. Widespread severe weather of any kind is not expected from this. I know a 40-degree temperature drop sounds scary. We have had more severe weather with less of a temperature change before, but it really looks like we are not going to have any sort of widespread severe weather outbreak, all those kinds of buzzwords. We're not going to get that, okay? We are going to get rain, probably a few thunderstorms. An isolated severe storm, mainly with just a damaging wind threat, is possible. But we're really just one small part of a very large marginal risk here. This level 1 risk stretches from Ohio all the way down through the tri-state into Missouri and parts of Arkansas and Mississippi. This is a large area, and for that entire area, the storm risk is pretty isolated. So I'm not terribly concerned about the severe weather risk Sunday night, but it is something we'll be watching very closely. Personally, if I had to pick one area within this that's at a slightly greater risk than everybody else, I would probably put the bullseye kind of south of St. Louis, right here kind of along the Illinois-Missouri border. I think that's where, if it was going to come together, that's the best chance of severe weather. But even then, again, we're talking about an isolated chance, and this would mainly be for potential damaging winds. So we're already going to have breezy conditions. It's already going to be windy. Then as those storms roll through, the winds could pick up a little bit more, and you could see some minor isolated damage, loose limbs getting knocked out of trees, Christmas decorations blown over, maybe a trash can tipped over. That kind of situation is what we could potentially see from this. So again, not widespread, not a major threat, but could still, have some minor damage Sunday night and a Monday morning. And then part 2 of this whole thing is this huge temperature drop. So let's talk temperatures for just a moment. We hit a high of 69 in Evansville earlier today. Didn't quite make it to 70 last time I checked. The record, by the way, was 73, I believe. So we came up short of the record, but we were a lot closer to the record than we were the normal, is the point. And that's been the case all week long, ever since Tuesday. Even now, sun has set. Temperatures are still in the 50s and 60s. It's 56 right now in Evansville, 61 in Owensboro at 9 o'clock at night in late December. That is incredibly warm. We are starting to see a little bit of fog developing. Visibility down to 3/4 of a mile right now in Greenville. That's kind of the first spot where we're seeing it. Most of us are still clear, but I do expect more of that fog to develop as we go through the night. So late tonight into early Saturday morning, patches of dense fog expected across much of the tri-state. Fog has been a problem for much of this week, so you probably at this point are familiar with how to deal with it, but I'll repeat myself just in case. Give yourself extra time to get where you're going. Leave extra space between you and the car in front of you. Take things nice and slow. Use your low beams, and we should all be able to get through this just fine. But you will probably see some fog if you're going to be out late tonight or early Saturday morning, and maybe not even that early either. The models are indicating this may be kind of slow to move out. So all the way up through lunchtime on Saturday, we could still be dealing with areas of patchy, dense fog. So just be aware of that if you have any plans, if you're going to be on the road Saturday morning. As for our temperatures tonight, will be a little cooler. We're going to bottom out in the mid to upper 40s by early tomorrow morning. Then on Saturday, not quite as warm as today. Like I said, we made it into the upper 60s to near 70 today. Tomorrow, just a few degrees cooler, but still, we're talking 20 degrees warmer than the average for this time of year, with highs in the low to mid 60s. We may get a few peaks of sun here or there, but it does look mostly cloudy. And again, especially in the morning, we probably will have some patchy fog. Then you get to Sunday. Sunday is going to be breezy, and that wind is going to be coming from the south-southwest, so it's just pulling warm southerly air up into the tri-state. That's going to push our temperatures into the lower 70s. The record for Sunday is 68. I think. Might be 69, but I think it's 68. I think they're pretty sure. Record 68 for Sunday. Either way, 68, 69. The point is I think we're going to beat it. All right, I think we're going to set a new record high temperature on Sunday as that warm wind just flows in from the south. It's going to be breezy. It's going to feel like spring. Then that cold front moves through Sunday night. That's what the 14 First Alert weather day is for. Overnight, Sunday night. So most of the day Sunday you're fine. That alert is for overnight Sunday night. That cold front moves through. Rain is likely. Probably some thunderstorms. It's going to be breezy Sunday and Monday, but Sunday night as those storms are rolling through, the winds may be even stronger within those thunderstorms, and so some minor isolated damage cannot be ruled out. So that's part of the reason for the First Alert weather day. The other part of it is look at this temperature drop Sunday night. It is going to feel incredible out there on Sunday. Sunday night, that wind shifts and our temperatures are going to drop like a rock. I mean, it is going to just take a nosedive. As soon as that cold front moves through and that wind direction changes, it is going to drop quickly. And so then by the end of the night, Sunday night, it is going to be colder than it has been this entire week. And a lot of people, I'm afraid, Monday morning may step out the door caught off guard by just how cold it's going to be. In addition to those chilly temperatures, it's still going to be breezy Monday too. So we may actually have a wind chill to worry about on Monday. Those upper 20s are going to feel even colder than that when you factor in the wind. Now, as we get into the rest of the week, things kind of moderate a little bit. We warm up a few degrees. It's going to feel kind of like late December, early January should, right? We've got temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Think we'll probably be dry, partly to mostly sunny then through the rest of the week. New Year's Eve night, temperatures are going to be dipping from highs in the 40s down to lows in the mid-20s. So if you are going to be out celebrating New Year's Eve, make sure you do so responsibly and carefully, but also warmly, because our temperatures will probably be in the 30s at midnight. So it is going to be chilly out there. All right, let's see what else we have here. Checking in on the comments. Zach asking, what's the likelihood of a tornado? I would say low. I would almost never say zero if we've got storms rolling through and it's, 70 in December. I would never put the odds at zero, but low. I'm really concerned about just straight line winds with this, Zach. Good evening, Jan, Vicky. Chris asking about how strong do you think the wind will get? I think during the day Sunday, before the storms move in, we'll probably have winds 20 to 25 miles an hour. That's enough, to blow a wreath off the door, flip a trash can lid, that kind of thing. As the storms are moving through, they could maybe get up closer to 40 or 50. An isolated wind gusts closer to 50 to 60 can't be ruled out. 55 to 60 is where you start getting into that severe thunderstorm warning range, where we may have a warning or two, but I think that would be kind of the upper end of things. So I hope that answers your question, Chris. And then when the storms move out, it'll die down some, but still, even on Monday, it's going to be breezy, probably gusting, closer to 25 miles an hour again on Monday. So both Sunday and Monday, I'd say gusts between 20 and 30 miles an hour would be very believable. While the storms are rolling through, those gusts could get up closer to 40 to 50, and isolated gusts more like 50 to 60 can't be ruled out. So that would just be my prediction, for which I guess that's what you're here for, is my predictions. Angie asking, is it a fast-moving system? It looks like it'll probably move through within a few hours Sunday night. Most of the models have the rain moving in sometime around 11 p.m. or midnight Sunday night, and then moving out of here very early, like by 5, 6 a.m. on Monday. So it'll be rolling through during the overnight hours Sunday night. It's not going to be an hour and it's gone. It'll take it, a good chunk of the night, overnight Sunday night, but I do think most of the day Sunday and most of the day Monday are going to be dry. So this is just going to be overnight Sunday night, rain, some thunder, a few gusts of wind, and then this huge temperature drop. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions. I'll give you one more minute in case anybody else has one. But I think we've covered everything. Here's one more look at the 7-day, just to summarize for any of you who are tuning in a little bit late. We are expecting fog tonight into tomorrow. In some locations that's already developing. So if you're going to be traveling on the road, going to work, going to visit family, whatever you might be doing on your Saturday morning, be aware you may want to give yourself a little extra time to get where you're going. Don't be in a rush, take things slow, and just in case you do run into a patch of dense fog where you can't see very far ahead of you and have to slow down there. So that's tonight into tomorrow. Temperatures still very mild, 40s tonight, 60s tomorrow. Saturday night into Sunday, very warm, lows upper 50s to near 60. Sunday then, breezy, cloudy, still mostly dry. That wind coming from the south pushing our temperatures lower 70s, setting a new record high most likely on Sunday. Then we've got that first alert weather day overnight Sunday night. Again, this is an overnight concern for storms, maybe a few gusty winds overnight Sunday night, and then as that rain's moving through, right behind it, sharply colder air moving in. By Monday morning, we're talking about temperatures in the 20s, and then we're going to stay in the 20s throughout the day on Monday. Cold, breezy, wind chills, the whole bit. It's really going to feel like winter on Monday. So if you haven't seen your winter coat since last weekend, go figure out where you put it, because you're going to need it on Monday. It then stays chilly, but kind of typical late December, early January chilly through the rest of the week. Not as breezy, partly to mostly sunny, and most likely dry through New Year's and through the end of the week. All right, you're welcome, Jan. Laura, thank you for tuning in. I'm not seeing any other questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope I answered everyone's questions. If you missed anything, you can go back and re-watch this on YouTube or on Facebook, or you can tune in tonight at 10. I'll have another look at your forecast then. All right, I hope everybody has a great rest of your night and a great weekend. Thanks, everybody.